Welcome to the Boxing Locker. I am Matt Goddard, former professional boxer, now boxing coach, and I'm here sadly to talk about another scandal in boxing, Conor Benn's recent pop for Peds use. Now, I mean, this is just devastating to hear because I'd become a bit of a Conor Benn fan. I thought he'd really grown as a fighter, and now, to me, all of that comes into question. The fight itself, I was remotely interested in. I think it was a bit of a freak show. I think, from my perspective, anything less than a Chris Eubank domination prior to this knowledge would have been surprising. And now you find out that not only in the contracts did the Benn team apply a rehydration clause and a weigh-in clause, an agreed weight limit to Eubank Jr., which obviously would dehydrate and malnourish him prior to the fight. They also had him on drugs. Now, am I 100% certain that it wasn't an accident? No, because he said it was just took the wrong thing. Is it questionable? Yes. You're moving up in weight. You're taking a drug that masks the side effects, or you've got trace amounts of a drug that masks the side effects of testosterone use in your system. Evidence has shown that this drug stays in the system for 2 to 3 weeks in trace amounts after its final use. The guy looks absolutely jacked up. He looks in the most muscular shape that you will have seen him. Putting on muscle mass isn't easy. Anybody who trains, goes to the gym, who knows anything about boxing or bodybuilding, weightlifting, all these kind of things, knows that putting on mass isn't easy. Certainly not in the manner that he has. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's very disappointing. I personally believe that anybody that fails a drugs test should receive a 2-year ban immediately. 2-year ban. No fight can proceed. They cannot make any money from boxing within that 2-year ban. All of their agreed contracts should be suspended and then continued the minute their ban ends. And if they get caught a second time, that should be a lifetime ban, and they should never box again, whether it's by accident or not. Because you receive that first ban when it's by accident, fine. You have 2 years, train, look after yourself, do whatever you need to do in the meantime, and then if you come back and you don't make the same mistake again, if it's accidental, then that would be a viable option. In this instance, I don't believe it was accidental. And for me, when Conor Benn came around and he boxed Cedric Payne out for the first time, and he got that massive swelling above his eye. Now, very brave guy, but what I would say reasonably limited. I would have said at that point he would get to about British level, and that would be it. Since then, he's gone on to hammer Sebastian Formella, absolutely decimate Chris Algieri, who have both been in with some good names, strong guys, very good hitters. And then Chris Van Heerden, who hasn't been hurt by the likes of Spence Jr. and Jaron Ennis, but then gets badly whooped by Conor Benn. Could that be a case of those guys being over the hill when Benn is fighting them? Yes. Could it be a case of him being enhanced and having his strength and power augmented by drugs? Also yes. So it's a really sad question for me to have to ask. I like to think that's not the case, because as I said, I like the way Conor Benn handles himself around the kind of weigh-in shows and the pre-fight promotions. And I've really kind of bigged him up in the past for his dramatic improvements, even in his skill set. But, if you get a guy who's on drugs, and who's on performance-enhancing drugs, then their recovery is faster, their muscularity is denser, their performance is better from the start. So, if if I go into training every day and I'm juiced up to the hilt, then I'm going to be able to perform better from the outset. I'm going to be hitting harder. I'm going to be faster. And then as I work and train, that compounds the abilities, and then I become something that otherwise I would not have been. It's a very, very sad indictment on the sport of boxing that Eddie Hearn is discussing this fight going ahead. If it does go ahead, I can only hope that Eubank absolutely dominates him from the beginning to the end. The British Boxing Board of Control have done the right thing. Great work from them, prohibiting the fight. Eddie Hearn looking for an alternative is a joke. I think it's incredibly hypocritical that he's doing that when you consider the manner in which he handled the Joshua Buatsi versus Jean Pascal proposed fight, when you consider the way he's handled Dillian White, when you consider the way he's talked about Tyson Fury and other guys in the past under other promotions. The hypocrisy knows no bounds, and it just goes to show you that business is the most important thing in boxing, and that's the saddest part of it all. Will the fight go ahead? I believe they'll find a way to make it happen. Sadly, will I watch it? I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway. I might watch the highlights the next day or caught up with it. Either way, I still think Eubank wins. I think now, knowing what they know, I think Eubank they'll agree a deal to cut the rehydration clause and to give him a couple of extra pounds on the weight limit. He'll be rehydrating, refueling to a much heavier weight than he would have. And hopefully he just goes out there and decimates him, because I don't think there's space for cheaters in a sport where you're going in there risking your life every single time you step through the ropes. I don't think there's any space for it. Carl Frampton said that they should be banned immediately. I think you should give them one chance, like I said, that 2-year ban. And then if they come back and they do it again, bosh, you're gone. Povetkin, Big Baby Miller, neither of those guys would have boxed again. So there we have it, guys. That's my opinion on the whole thing. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it plays out. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. I'm interested to see what people think. I think a lot of people will probably buy the Conor Benn story of it being accidental and him taking his wife's fertility medicine, or girlfriend. I don't know what she is, but I mean, let me know what you think. Yeah, like, subscribe, check out all the rest of my content. Have a great day, everybody.